Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our trading room. Let's get the screen share going on. Okay. So, the market on a bit of a tear. This is the daily NASDAQ. And you can see a very strong session yesterday. A lot of this bar came in the overnight. The intraday session itself was, well, it was bullish, but not quite this bullish. And here we are opening again higher. You'll note, though, that volume is down. So here, again, we've got that situation where volume is supposed to be a relative indicator. And what that means is big bars should have big volume, little bars should have little volume. And we're looking at big bars, and yet the volume is falling off. So what does that tell us? Well, right now, it's looking as though this breakout that we had above 9,300 may not stick. Just a little something to keep in the back of your mind. The trend for the moment is still up, but we need to be maybe a little extra cautious. Okay, the Eagle now on the overnight. Well, it looks like the gains all came early out of the London Open, and after that, we're getting some big ranges, but not any progress really, higher or lower. So the market topping out the overnight somewhere around 94.62, 63. And it looks like we're maybe going to come check out the bottom end of the overnight trading range again. Our first in-sync Eagle signal printing here about a minute or so ago. And good follow through on that. A little bit of a bumpy ride, but it did appear to make its profit target. And here we go with the back and forth. So it's still very early. I'd like to see some early momentum, but of course it's difficult to judge. At the moment, we're getting conflicting trends, right? With the short term, the trend is down. Long term, the trend is up. All right, here we got a number 3 signal. Let's see if we can get some of that early momentum. I'm going to get my exit order out of the way. So we've got back-to-back signals here. We have a number 2 signal, which of course is counter trend, and now we're coming back with a number 3 signal. And hopefully, let's get our exit order ready. So I'll bring the exit order somewhere here around the, and on this, if we can break this recent little swing low, I'll bring my stops back down here to break even. So what I'm looking at is looking for the market to violate this low right here. Oh, better get ready. There we go. Okay, trade at break even, and hooray. You could find time to mention it, but you could probably stretch this one out a little bit. Looks like we're hitting the resistance zone, and then next stop the primary resistance, which is definitely doable. This is all within the overnight ranges. So I jump shipped early, but if you're still hanging on, there is room for the market to go. Hey, way to go, Christian. Christian says, hooray on my side too. Short trade in profit. Yeah, that one had some, didn't waste too much time getting to where we needed it to go. So we're a little bit more than 5 minutes in. And like I said, the market does seem to have a little bit of a bearish flavor to it today, to start anyway. Take a quick look at the reports calendar. And it looks as though, oh, we do have a report out at the top of the hour. So maybe the trader's positioning for that. And after that, it looks like Friday we could have. Oh yeah, non-farm employment reports out on Friday. Those are worth paying attention to. Okay, so you can see continued follow through on that earlier signal as the market tries to get down to the primary resistance zone. Had a nice little late filter entry signal here, just snuck in with that single bar out of sync with your filter. Came back into sync, your filter did, produced a signal. That is your late filter entry signal, and you can see very nice follow through on that one. So if you were looking for another reason to get back into the market, that could have been a good one for you right there. Okay, so you know when you've made a trade like this, and now you may be kicking yourself for not hanging on longer. Why did I take profit when I did? Well, you probably took profit when you did because A, you were trading a small account, and the old idea of a bird in the hand, there's a reason people say that. So you took your profit, market continued along without you. What do you do now? Well, you're looking for another place to get in. And one of the better places for that to happen is when the market hits that inevitable pause, a little short-term pause where it starts to zigzag somewhat, and then you can place your trend order, your just in case the bottom continues to fall out of the market and I don't get a signal order. Or you can take any of these other sell signals. These are your discretionary signals. They don't qualify as a high probability signal, but if the market conditions are right, then by all means. And you can see we had some excellent follow through on that as well. Look at them go. Wow, so unlike yesterday, they're definitely into filling the gap this morning. Ooh, bottom is coming out. Okay, no pause just yet, and we are kind of close to the area where we could consider this gap filled. So it's be interesting to see. Well, I think we can safely say today's trend is down. We've had a rather significant pullback. We don't have very much in the way of a sideways structure yet, so this may be premature to set a just in case order to short down there. However, I will entertain the possibility of a short. We're getting actually some trend change going on, perhaps. We're back in the hard edge, so this is where we anticipate a reaction. We got an earlier signal here on both the Falcon and the Hawk that I let pass, but in hindsight, maybe I should not have. Okay, so we've got a developing number one signal here in the Raptor. It's going to be what I call an early number one signal. And it's early because the clouds are almost fully crossed. We've had a little bit of a pullback. Now we're producing the signal. Doggone it, Eric. Here we go. That's what we want. Okay, getting ready with my stops. They're now the proper number one signal. But that's one advantage to doing the early signal. So why did I consider a buy there when we're in a downtrend? I like to pay attention to the previous swing highs and lows. Another way you can do this is you can connect the dots, if you will. In a downtrend, we have the tendency to draw our trend lines this way, which is all well and good. You can see when the trend seems to be reversing. You can also connect the dots on the bottom of the swings, and you also get an idea when the trend might be reversing. So all of a sudden, when we start breaching significant swing points, we can usually anticipate a couple of moves in the direction of the breakout. So that's move number one. Your breakout move is move number one. This was move number two. And I considered this not to be too far along in the move yet to consider getting on board. And fortunately, it worked out very nicely. Even if you had taken just the number one signal when it printed, you can see, well, you took a little bit of heat, but even so, the market following through. And of course, you have your Bollinger Suite to give you a bit of a confirmation as well. All right, well, you know, if I were trading my trading quota, I've got my two trades in. Both are profitable. Yeah, way to go, Christian. Christian said the same thing. Christian's kind of working off of the same premise here, except Christian nailed it. He said made 117 ticks profit in the NASDAQ in 15 minutes. Nicely done, Christian. Well done. I take it you rode that move down. Time to close the trading day. Yes, I would think so. There's nothing worse than being up a tidy little profit and then finishing the day in the red. I know I tell you this every morning, but it's important to remember you're not working on an assembly line here. You don't get paid more by trading more. You get paid more by trading more contracts. So not more often, but a larger size, more contracts. That's where you want to get yourself. Yeah, a great suggestion here. Christian says, or change into sim mode so you don't lose your money. Change into sim mode, keep trading so that you can learn more. And that's an excellent suggestion. Okay, well, we're starting to hit that little bit of a sideways range. Where this could be our range, give or take. While they're going sideways like this, it's going to be a little difficult. The market really at a crossroads at this point because as we've seen, we've had some very strong bullish days, right? When you go back to your daily chart, you had some very strong bullishness. And yet today, there's no denying the trend is down today. So who will finally come out on top? Are the buyers going to push the market back up? Yesterday started off fairly bearish, certainly not as bearish as today, but then the buyers just took hold of them and yahoo, away they went. Today, a much more aggressive sell-off to open, but once again, the buyers digging in around our primary resistance zone. Which is where we're at right now. I wonder, is it too early to put a just in case the bottom falls out of the market and I don't get a chance to get in order? We're going to get a number one signal to short. All right, maybe I'll try that. Maybe we will. Now this definitely a little bit more aggressive to short that number one signal because we're within the recent range, right? Where if we suspect the market is moving a little bit sideways, well, it could be just as prone to move up as it is to move down. But hopefully we'll see a little bit of a downward bias as they maybe try to check out the bottom end. Ooh, maybe not. Oh, look at that. Crap. I'm going to get tagged. Nuts. Here we go. Yeah. See, the smart thing to do is to wait for the market to actually get outside this trading range. That would be the smart thing to do. So we've got a trading range like this, or you could consider your trading range like that. I wouldn't argue with you. So long as we are within this trading range, the market is too neutral. So the smart thing to do is to wait until they get out of here. And you can see our trading band is starting to get all sideways, all twisted up. I'm thinking, excuse me, I'm thinking the buyers might want to give it one more go, but, oh yeah, see, stinkers. Now they're going to move to the short side. Doggone it. Just went high enough to tap me out. Who told them where my stops were, huh? And now they're heading down. Doggone it. See, I debated moving my stop up above that swing high. I got tagged right there. Stinkers. Okay, so now we've got that number one signal. It does offer a bit of a second push opportunity. Not sure we're going to get it though. This primary resistance line, they are really dug in at that zone. It's crazy strong. There's the report. Yeah, and here come the bulls. Okay, the next signal that prints here will be a number one signal to buy. Let's see if they can get above this little high around there. That's where the signal should end up printing. If, in fact, they're going higher. Oh, that's not quite what I wanted right there. Okay, so we got the signal, and I was just anticipating the signal. Some of that you're going to gain from experience. Okay, get my stops a safe distance back. Oh, man. All right, here, we should do this properly. Wow. Lots of back and forth here. There's a bit of a struggle going on, which makes me think if this breakout occurs, there might be room. There might be some room here to stretch this out. Now, I would suggest taking profit on target, but for the sake of the room, let's see if maybe we can't stretch it up here to the next resistance zone. No, not getting any love here. Stuck in sideways. Sideways range, which is not where I want to be. Might as well flip a coin. Like I said, if we can get above these recent swing highs, you know there's going to be some exit orders parked up here, right? So, okay, broke above. Let's see if there's any follow through now. You have to see some follow through. Otherwise, that all that tells you is that the sellers might be beating up on us. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're zeroing in on what would have been our profit target. It's right up there, and we're just about to hit it. There we go. So we would have made our profit. Now, for the sake of the room, I'm going to try to run it up here a little bit. When you're trying to trail a trade like this, you normally don't roll stops until you've broken a significant swing point. So, and then you roll your stops below your last swing. That's the idea. Yeah. Okay, they didn't give it to me. That's the chance you take when you try to run a trade out, when it starts to get all sideways and choppy like that. So again, you know, the smaller your account, the more you should be inclined to take profit when you have it. So you avoid the heartbreak of having a profitable trade only to watch it disappear. All right. Well, we're still within this broader trading range that we outlined before. Oh, actually, looks like we got a little bit of a breakout. So let's throw a just in case order below here. Oh, and that's going to actually coincide with this order. Oh, no, don't tell me I was too late. Nuts. Okay, well, we'll have to do the same thing now on the bigger range. So even though this did not technically break out, this is still an attempt at a breakout. So there's our just in case order to short right there below the lows, somewhere through here, probably off the hard edge. We're going to get that reaction. And then we'll be able to set our just in case order to buy. And then we effectively have the market in a bind. And we'll just wait and see. Okay, so now I can put my just in case order to buy up here. And we're going to get signals coinciding with this. I'll play it here from the Eagle. And we'll set profit targets. So 72, I'm going to go for the, you know what? I'm going to go for the big one. We're going to go for the big 10 ticks. And let's see, 72. So we need to get down here to 62. Come on. 62 3/4. There we go. Okay, let's see if the sellers got it. If they can get down to our Eagle target. So 67 3/4, 92, 67 3/4 would be our swing target. That would be our 5 points. Come on. Okay, here we go. Come on, give me that push. Great question, Christian. Christian asks, Eric, for the Raptor, are there any updates planned in the next time? And is there an update for the trade manager? There are no updates planned for the Raptor or DTS. Of course, if you have suggestions that you would like to see, by all means, pass them along. As far as Trade Manager, it is unfortunately impossible to program Trade Manager for Ninja 8. It's been, well over 2 years. We've given up on it. The trade calculator is what we use now to control our position size. And You can use ATM strategies if you want to plot or have Trade Manager trail your stops for you automatically. If with the trade calculator, you can select different stops, but you manage them manually. So yes, unfortunately, the Trade Manager only working on Ninja 7. And unfortunately, my trade reaching my swing target, but not quite as strong as I thought to get back down here to my eagle target. Oh, we're producing a number 3 signal though. I could try to short that. So this is essentially a second push on the number 3 signal. I'm going to get my exit order out of the way for the time being. We're also, we pretty much have filled the gap from this morning. So that's probably why the market is a little reluctant to head lower as well. Okay, here we go. Okay, bring the exit order back down, and I need just a little giddy up. Come on, one more push below those lows. We're in that sideways mode now, which tends to happen after the market makes a strong trend. A lot of times it will just be content to flip-flop for the rest of the session. Come on. Wow. Yeah, see, just getting stuck in the sideways chop. They just break highs and lows by a few ticks, so I'm going to give that a couple more ticks. Yeah. Shoot. I got a little impatient with that. Doggone it. So there's our really big trading range. Here's our breakout. Here's our retest. All right, I'm going to put that away before I do something silly. Well, we've really slowed down here, and it's coming up on the bottom of the hour. So we're going to be closing things up here shortly. If you're going to continue trading, I think the buyers are going to make another push. There's been a few attempts to move the market lower, a few unsuccessful attempts to move the market lower. I think the next rally may see a little bit more to it. Oh, and as I say that, the bottom starts to fall out of the market. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was a little bit of a surprise where they just the bottom came out of the market. I did not think they had that much left in them, but obviously they did. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. We're back into yesterday's ranges around this 93.50 zone. So it does appear as though the market very, very bearish today. So you're probably going to be better off concentrating on your sell signals. You may even just be able to pick up any old sell signal. Like, there's a discretionary signal to short, and just stay short. Just try to stay on the short side as much as possible. All right, gang, that's it for today. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.